Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. I'm gonna be closing out this vacation theme that seems to have cropped up by looking at a character that looks like he's always on freaking vacation.
Meet Chuckles. This figure was released in 1987 with all original body parts. And we really can't get around this, can we? We sure are looking at a guy in a Hawaiian shirt. There's a reason for the shirt, sort of. I'll talk about it when we get to the character. As it stands, he looks like a cross between Magnum PI and Sonny Crockett. The weirdest thing about the shirt isn't actually the shirt itself. It's the fact that he's still wearing army pants. An Hawaiian shirt and army pants really don't go that well together. Still, as we know from Bazooka, G.I. Joe has never really been an organization that's too strict when it comes to enforcing dress codes. He only came with 2 accessories, a gun and a holster, and I have to admit, the holster is a nice touch. And this was the only toy Chuckles ever got in the original line. Not in Belgium though, we got a different number of Chuckle toys.
Namely, 0!
Yeah, like Torch, this guy somehow fell through the cracks and never made it over here. He did get one more toy in 2009 that I can't talk about. This is a nice update of... he's a great update of the original there's lots of great detailing and...
Huh? Yeah, okay, I'm not the only one seeing that, right?
His head. Look at it. That's Neil Patrick Harris, isn't it? Tell me I'm not crazy here. That's Doogie Howser. Yes, I know Harris has gone to much bigger and better roles, but this show has its feet firmly planted in the 80s, damn it. Anyway, though it's a nice figure, 2 things about it do bother me. He still has his holster, but the gun is just part of the mold. It's not removable. Kinda surprising considering they usually went the extra mile when it came to these new figures. Also, they got rid of the pink flowers on his shirt. They should have kept the full Hawaiian look, in my opinion. Chuckles did actually get 2 more toys, but they were convention and collectors club exclusives, so I don't have them. They were pretty similar to the other 2 though.
Now let's take a look at the character, starting with the file card, as always.
Chuckles is a CID, or Criminal Investigations Division, agent of the Army. He is undercover so deep, nobody really knows who he works for.
Army intelligence at its work, folks.
His main characteristic is that he's very likable. He's always smiling and cracking jokes. Actually, that is good for an undercover operative. It also explains his codename. He's Chuckles because he smiles and jokes a lot. Yeah, sometimes a joke codename is based on their primary characteristic. Poor Skidmark. Poor Skidmark. He is able to talk his way out of any situation. Also good for an undercover guy. His idea of undercover clothes, however, appears to just be an Hawaiian shirt.
I'd complain about this, but... Chuckles had a fun introduction in the comic.
His first act is to have General Hawk kidnapped.
I like him already.
It turns out that when he was working undercover for, well, whoever the hell he's supposed to be working for, he found out 3 guys, namely Falcon, Fastro, and Law, thought they were recruited by the Joe team to guard a top-secret missile. Only, they weren't really on the Joe team. They had been set up by a rogue general. The missile was supposed to destroy Cobra Island, but this wasn't diplomatically opportune at the moment in the comic, so the general just figured screw the rules. Hawk is picked up and Chuckles explains the situation to him, and holy hell, do they draw him as an imposing muscle guy. Way too big. This comic came out after the movie, so maybe the artist was influenced by his actions there. Anyway, Cobra ends up stopping the missile, and Hawk is impressed enough that he makes the guys official Joes. It seems that Chuckles is among them, but to me it's not 100% clear whether he is an actual Joe or not. I like how it could be vague, so you really don't know who he works for. Also, at the end of the issue, Chuckles goes full Don Johnson. Look at that getup. As far as the various cartoons go, well, Chuckles only appeared in G.I. Joe the movie.
And he didn't act like an undercover agent. He didn't act at all, really.
You see, he has no lines in the movie. None whatsoever. Even though this was a new toy to promote, he said nothing. He acted like mute muscle, throwing a missile at a tank with his bare hands, and using those same hands to start helicopter blades. This may explain why he looks so huge in the comic. My own pet theory is that originally he was gonna have a larger role and in fact be played by Don Johnson, but this was probably a very early script idea that got nixed. Overall, Chuckles was an interesting character with a unique look. My favorite toy version is the original. Sorry, Mr. Harris. I'd say the toy is worth picking up, but it's by no means an essential part of a collection.
See you next week, everybody! Hey! For all you smart people out there who stay until after the credits to see if there's a stinger, here's some free Half the Battle trivia for you. Every time when we look at a character, I usually pull out this file card and say something like, and now we'll take a look at the character starting with the file card. Yeah, interesting tidbit. This is a prop. It's just a bit too much work to get a different file card every time I do this, so I use the same one every time, as you may have noticed. Thing is, it's actually Chuckles' file card. So this is the only time that it's actually accurately portrayed on screen. And I'll really see you next time, everybody.